Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me in this time and space. I am Nikei S Salas, author of Black Girl Gone Guru and He Poisoned Me and Left Me for Dead, as well as some other things. But hey, we're here to talk to Trisha, Sacred Energy. So I would like to read an intro so you could get to know her a little bit better. Trisha, well known as Sacred Energy, based in Canada, is a certified nutritionist, herbalist, and life coach, which has been practicing for over 14 years. She is a healer. She is a mystic. That's my type of woman right there. She a mystic. That's why I'm vibing with her already. Okay, let me keep on going with the intro. Who has been ordained by the divine to awaken the souls of her clients. She is Earth, mother to four beautiful children. Without further ado, I want you all to welcome Sacred Energy. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. So, what did I miss? That's just my intro, but I want you to introduce yourself to everyone.
Yes. So it's actually Sacred Synergy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I
It's
messed that up.
Oh, no problem at all. And yeah, you basically wrapped it up. I've been practicing for 14 years now. This is my passion. I love what I do. I've evolved from being a nutritionist and just helping people through wellness consultations and solely, focusing on food and menu planning. And that over the years has evolved to, energy healing and
Okay.
more of the mental healing, because as you
Mm,
know, whenever we're getting into truly making a person whole, we have to address the mind, body, and spirit. So I
yes.
feel like over the years, I've definitely evolved into encompassing those three aspects into my practice. And yeah, I love
Okay.
it.
Okay. Now I'm picking up an accent here. I'm hearing this beautiful tongue. You know what? Can I ask you where is that coming from?
Yeah, so I was born here in Canada, but my parents are Jamaican. So
Oh,
yeah, I have sometimes a little patois come out, but
okay. I like that. That's okay. I love that.
yeah.
I love that island. It makes me think I'm on a beach somewhere when I hear that. I'm like, oh. So I appreciate that. So what led you to this healing work?
You know what? It's funny because ever since I could remember, I've always wanted to be a doctor.
Mm,
Growing up, parents always like, "Oh, be a doctor or a lawyer." Those are usually the two main, professions that parents
mm,
want you to be. But for me, I truly wanted to be a doctor.
okay.
It wasn't until I got into, I met my son's father, and I got into the Rasta culture that
Mm.
I came upon my passion. And I
Ooh,
realized that I not only wanted to be a doctor, but I wanted to be a natural doctor.
yes.
And in doing that, that's when I started going to nutrition school. I got into herbology, into Reiki healing, and things
Mm.
just took off from there. I just found my passion from there, and it felt right. And 14 years later, I'm still here.
Okay, okay. And see, it's beautiful that now I am seeing an awakening, I guess you
Mhm.
could call it, or a though it has always right, always been there, right? But more people are starting to wake up or go back, should I say, to
Yeah.
natural healing. And
Yeah.
that even more in Western medicine, that they are starting to realize the importance of, of exactly what you said, mind, body, and soul,
Mhm.
spirit, and to see all parts as, treating a person. I'm glad
Exactly.
that you said that you always wanted to be a doctor, and here you are naturally healing people, which is exactly what it came from. That's
Yeah.
why the Western doctors, that's what even the medicine, though it may have its purposes, but everything came from the natural source. So I'm glad that you're doing
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's funny too, because in studying natural medicine, I realized that a lot of the pharmaceutical drugs, the foundation of those medicines are actually
Hmm.
herbs. that
Mm-hmm.
have been processed and reformulated into prescription drugs that, come with their side effects and things of that nature. But everything goes right back to nature when it
Yes.
comes on to healing self. So I'm very glad that this is the path that I found for myself.
Now tell us, Trisha, now with natural medicine, though you are a certified nutritionist, with that, but even with being an herbalist, what was there some type of schooling or certification that, or certain school that you had to go through to get that?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So for me, so when I became a Rasta at that time, I
Mm-hmm.
stopped eating meat. So I'm just giving you a little
Mm.
backstory. I stopped
Okay.
eating meat.
Okay.
And I became extremely sick because I knew nothing about being a vegan or a
Mm.
vegetarian. I was actually a starchitarian,
Okay.
living on pizza and fries, literally living on pizza and fries for at least 3, 4 months because I didn't know how to cook. I didn't grow up in a
Mm.
family where, there was 7 of us. So my older brothers cooked. I was the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So, once I ventured off on my own, I didn't really know much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got really sick. And one day I walked into a store in Mississauga, and I found a book called Herbally Yours by Penny C. Royal.
Mm.
And I fell in love. Like there was all these remedies, for your hair and your nails, for, to lose weight, to do
Oh,
this, to do that.
lose
And
weight.
and I just started going crazy, buying up all of these herbs and drinking all of this stuff. And then I was just like, maybe I need to go to school for this and,
Okay.
educate myself properly instead of mixing all of these herbs. And there must be some sort of order to this. So in 2010, I attended the Dominion School of Herbal College,
Okay.
and that is in British Columbia, Canada.
Oh.
And
Oh,
so
okay.
I did my certifications there, and now I am a certified herbalist. But a lot of my knowledge just comes from working with people, reading, trying things myself, and again, just experience. But it was a really, really good foundational course that I took, or program, I should say.
And I'm glad that you said that you went to school, and though we can learn a lot from books and videos and so forth, right? But I'm glad that you knew to go and make sure that you received the not only the knowledge, but how should I say, put different herbs together,
Yes.
and to make remedies, because nowadays, it's easy to say, hey, I want to, I don't know, I just want to throw something out there, dandelion, okay? But with you being, again, already a nutritionist, certified to even be that, and you going to school to have the know-how to properly use these herbs with people. Can you talk a little bit about that, about going to school from it versus just, picking up herbs and giving it to somebody or suggesting them to somebody?
Yeah. So basically with herbs, it's, a lot of people say it's natural, just take
Mm-hmm.
it, you don't have to worry about it. But there's a lot of herbs that are poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of herbs that one shouldn't take if,
Mm-hmm.
they have a certain condition. You know what I mean? So for example, if you have some sort of digestive issues, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You don't want to be taking something like Sithandra berry, because Sithandra berry is very tart, right? The taste of it is very tart. And if you suffer from gastroesophageal reflux disorder, or you have heartburn a lot, that's going to make it worse. Even
Mm-hmm.
though Sithandra berry is good for the heart, it's good for the liver, it's good for the kidneys, it's good for the blood,
Mm-hmm.
right? So understanding that, and then also understanding the categories of what different herbs fall under. So
Okay.
for example, you'll have a category of astringent herbs. So
Okay.
astringent herb is what dries things up, right? So this could be like your shepherd's purse, your witch hazel, your white oak bark. And these things are good for, women that have excess discharge. If you're bleeding uncontrollably, if there's too much fluids being released from your body, you want astringent herbs. And these are
Mm.
some of the herbs that I have in my yoni elixir, which is for fibroids, right?
Okay.
And also for leucorrhea and things of that nature. So if you pair an astringent herb with something like slippery elm, which is a demulcent herb, it's in the category of a demulcent, which is going to help coat the intestinal tract and actually put more, moisture and fluid into the body, you're counteracting the effects of the astringent herbs. So understanding the properties of the herb and what categories they fall into is going to help you create a better formula. Also in terms of like absorption, there's certain herbs that go better with certain herbs because it actually helps its absorption rate. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, will be like, oh, I need to cleanse my liver. I'm going to take some dandelion and some burdock tea and some yellow dock tea. But it's like, you can't do that, because if you cleanse your liver and you are constipated, for example, you cleansing your liver and not adding a colon cleansing herb along with that to pair with that, you're actually asking for more trouble.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because in cleansing the liver, you're actually releasing the toxins from the liver and it's going through your bloodstream, right? But if there's nowhere for that to go, for those toxins to be released, if your detoxification pathways are not open, that toxic blood is just going to recirculate back through your body. You're going to find that you're getting angry more often because your liver holds anger. That's where your anger is seated, in your liver. You're going to find that you're getting more acne and things of that nature. You're going to find that you're feeling a little bit more sluggish. Your skin may start itching you. And that's because it's not that the herbs are not working, but the benefit of the herbs, which is releasing the toxins from the liver, now have nowhere to go. So instead of it sitting in your liver, it's now circulating all through your body and wreaking havoc. So having I think a foundational understanding of how herbs work is very, very important, especially when you're administering remedies to other people or making products to sell.
I'm so glad you said that, because wow, and that's why, again, you being a nutritionist, before even going to school to become a herbalist, that's working hand in hand, you working with your clients, and not only talking with them about foods to eat, but you're knowing, okay, if they eat this, and then this type of diet that they have, then I should, prescribe this certain type of herb with them. I'm glad that it's like that worked in divine order too. It's like, okay, she's going to school to, teach people and learn how to eat. And then, of course, we're taking in the herbs, whether by medicine or by food, but you're balancing that, or you're putting that together right for your class. I love that. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad you shared that. I hope everybody wrote that down. That's a little tidbit, God, because balance is important in everything, everybody. I mean, we can't just be taking in anything and everything. Oh, wow. So you said about the Rasta. Okay, do you mind sharing something about that?
So yeah, when I was 19, I met my son's father, and he was a part of the Rasta tradition. So Rastafari is very popular in Jamaica. It's a culture, it's a liberty, a religion, what have you. Some people will term it as that. And it's basically based off of living a natural life, of acknowledging Haile Selassie, which is the last emperor of Ethiopia, as God. And just really honing in on the concept of Africa being the home for all Black people, repatriation, and just living along with the earth. So Rasta for me was like an integral part of my journey, because it taught me to respect nature. It taught me the power of nature and the elements, and it taught me about natural living, natural healing, eating fruits and vegetables and drinking herbs, and doing things from a place that coincides with, the natural rhythms of the body. So it played a very integral part of my life. And again, most Rastas are vegetarian. There are some that do eat chicken and fish, but for the most part, I would say 85% of them are vegetarian. And the path that I took was, a vegetarian path. So
Mhm.
that's kind of what led me into my purpose of realizing I'm getting very sick. What is going on? You know what I mean? And then when I started to, when I went to school, I literally absorbed the information like a sponge. Like I didn't realize that I was so fascinated by the human body,
Mhm.
by pathology, disease, and how it worked, and how to take care of it with supplements and herbs. I didn't realize. So, I feel like I kind of stumbled into my purpose,
You
when
walked
it came
right
to
into it because you knew from the beginning, like you said, you was like, I want to be a
I
doctor.
want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Exactly. I just didn't know that it would turn into this.
Mhm.
So yes, I'm very grateful for that time in my life. Yeah.
Mhm. Now,
Yes.
with your children, is this something that you practice with your children as far as uh, and I want you to talk about that too, about veganism, and the different things of that. But is that something that you do practice with the kids?
Well, when I did have my children, I was a vegan.
Okay.
But right now we do, consume meat on some levels. That
Okay.
was a decision that I made maybe like 4 or 5 years ago after being a vegan for about 12 years.
Okay.
So, with my children, a lot of parents are very strict,
Mhm.
in terms of what their children should be doing, how they should be eating, what's right and what's wrong. With my children, I teach them, I let them see, what I'm doing, why I'm
Mhm.
doing it.
That's
They eat
good.
what I eat, of course, because I'm the one that's buying the food and cooking the food. But for example, if they go to my mother's house, and my mother is having, a party, or she's making something that I wouldn't usually give them, I'll let them have it. You know what I mean? If they
Oh,
if
you're so sweet.
they want it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's important for children to develop their own knowing of just what feels right for them. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Just because it
Mhm.
feels right for me doesn't mean that it's going to be something that they're going to carry with them for the rest of their lives. They have to find their own path while being guided by me in a
Yes.
very open way, you
Yes.
know so I'm not very strict with my children when it comes on to what they choose to do. But that being said, because I educate them and I help them understand the detriments of certain foods, and I help them understand the benefits of other foods, then with that knowledge they're able to make more sophisticated choices,
Mhm.
when I'm not around, in terms of what they choose to eat. Because I have an 18-year-old, I have a 14-year-old. So when they're at school, when they're hanging out with their friends, it's really up to them what they're going to eat. So, I'll see them more, getting Subway, getting a sub instead of like, McDonald's or something like that. So just
Mhm.
little things like that, I see my influence in their daily choices. But they'll drink the herbs if I give them herbal tea and things like that to drink.
Mhm.
If I make a vegan dish, they'll eat it. They're very open. So I
Okay.
love that about them.
That's good.
Mm.
Yeah, that's another thing, and I'm glad you brought that up about all of us have to find our own way.
Mhm.
And we all are examples, right? We are all showing an example, but what might be good for me, might not be good, for my children. So I'm glad you're doing that with your children.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, I had a friend that she was a vegan,
Hmm.
and she was her children were vegan as well, and her daughter actually developed rickets, which
Oh,
is a vitamin D deficiency,
right.
because she lived in a country where there wasn't much sunshine, and she wasn't intaking the right foods that contain vitamin D, which is not as easy to get from vegetarian sources. It's
Hmm.
possible, but it's not as easily attainable as it is by just eating a piece of chicken.
Hmm.
So she moved back to Canada, started giving her daughter, cow milk and meat and whatever she needed to
Hmm.
do to get
Hmm.
her daughter better. And within two
Good.
months, Her daughter was walking because she wasn't able to crawl, like she couldn't, her bones were very weak and soft, So just an example of, why it's important to just do what's best in the moment and not allow rigid ideologies to kind of govern your life at every moment, and that's just my opinion. I do what's right for me in every moment. If I'm going out with a friend and I don't drink alcohol like that, but if she wants to toast to a glass of wine and it's her birthday, I'm gonna toast to a glass of wine. Let's toast. You know what I mean? Let's have some wine. I feel like life is meant to be enjoyed,
Yes.
and lived with a level of wisdom, and allowing that wisdom to guide you, and just being in balance with self.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Oh,
Yeah.
God, you just hit all the questions that I had wrote down. You answered them. Let me see. Am I missing something? What? She didn't answer all of the questions. I don't think I had. So is there something that of course, keeping in mind that, each person is each person, but what would you say one thing that just about everybody should be doing as far as nutrition wise, or even a herb that's pretty safe, if it is, for most people?
One thing nutrition wise everybody should be doing, in my opinion, is taking supplements. Okay. There are 3 supplements that I think that everybody should be taking. And that's just because of what our world has come to with genetically modified foods, with, our soils being deficient and not being able to attain the level of nutrients that we used to. And just, our environment, pollution, all of these things influence, our ability to absorb nutrients, hormone disruptors through our food and the environment, through warming up food in the microwave, to inhaling pollutants from a factory. All of these things affect our bodies. So the first one is probiotics.
Okay.
And you probably heard it before, like on commercials with yogurt and, or kombucha drinks. Probiotics is basically live bacteria, active bacteria that governs your whole gastrointestinal tract. So your gastrointestinal tract is from your throat all the way out to your anus. We got one long tube running through our bodies, okay? And that's your throat, your stomach, small intestine where you absorb your food, and your large intestine where you excrete the waste from your food. And what the probiotic is going to do is going to maintain the integrity of the environment of your gastrointestinal tract. So it's going to maintain the integrity of your ability to absorb food. It's going to maintain the integrity of your ability to excrete waste. So it's going to help regulate your bowel movements. And 80% of your immune system is in your gastrointestinal tract. So it's going to help keep you strong. It's going to help keep your immune system healthy. And there's many things that can destroy or create an imbalance in this, I like to call it, or people will say microbiome, which is like, your gastrointestinal tract is its own ecosystem. So we have sugar, birth control pills, pharmaceutical drugs, all of these things destroy or create imbalance in, let's just call it the gut for a better word. It creates imbalance in the gut. So the probiotic is what's going to help bring back that balance, keep you healthy, keep waste outside the body, and help you increase absorption. And that's from babies going right up, especially if a mother is not breastfeeding. And she is giving her child, formula, she definitely should get the baby on probiotics to help avoid allergies later on in life. The other one would be omega-3. So omega-3 is a fatty acid. You probably, back in the day, there was the whole salmon craze, everybody eating salmon to get the healthy fats, so healthy fats are super important. Number one being is because our body does not generate them on their own. Like our body does not manufacture omega-3 fatty acids. So that means that we have to get it from external sources. So this can be from nuts and seeds. I'll get mine from avocados and supplements, but I love avocados.
Ooh, me
So,
too.
yes, that's my go-to. And then another option would be your salmon, your mackerel, your tuna. But again, supplement-wise, it's just one of those things where it's just good to have the supplement just in case,
Okay.
you're not getting that for the day through a food source. Then the next one would be a multivitamin.
Okay.
A standard, I like fermented whole food multivitamins. Excuse me. So this is going to help fill nutritional gaps throughout the day.
Mm.
So, if you didn't eat properly, or you've been on the run all day and, a lot of people just don't have a healthy diet. And that's just the reality of the
Yes,
situation. We
yes,
act
it
like
is.
we do, posting pictures of salads and stuff like that. But in reality, a lot of people are not eating as healthy as they would like to,
Mhm.
or have the time to.
And that's exactly, what you said. Most people, I mean, they say the average, and I know you're in Canada, but the average American is working over 50 hours a week. I mean, how are you
Yeah,
really making time to eat right that way?
yeah. And I mean, it's not even like it's impossible. It is possible to eat right, but during those 50-hour weeks, it's gonna take meal planning. It's gonna, you have to put a lot of will and effort into it. So as
Mhm.
you're getting to that stage of making the effort into changing your diet, incorporating supplements is definitely gonna help.
Mhm.
Herb wise, I would definitely say astragalus root.
Okay.
That's my go-to. It's super gentle in maintaining your immunity. So it's
Okay.
just one of those things that if you just want to stay healthy, if you're always on the go, if you find that you're, always sick, having astragalus root in your diet is really, really good. Gentle liver cleansers,
Okay.
sorry, like your burdock root, and pairing that with like a senna leaf, or even a black walnut leaf, just to kind of make sure that your bowels are moving, but you're not running to the bathroom. Senna leaf is going to have you run into the bathroom, so check that one out. So doing like a burdock and a black walnut is going to help. I like to do like aloe vera and orange
Mm.
juice in the morning.
Okay.
That's like a good stomach tonic, to keep your stomach healthy. Um, then you have your peppermint and your ginger, just to help with digestion and things of that nature. Your chamomile in the evening, to help you relax and have a good night's sleep. So, things like that. I think that it should be a staple in everyone's, everyday regimen.
So I hope everybody got that, and I'm gonna put the link into in the video so you all, because Trisha does information. She has information on her Instagram, on her website. So, oh, wait a minute. Let me stop. While we talking about herbs, Trisha has her own company where she makes herbs. Can you please share the information with that?
Yeah, so sacredsynergy.com. I make tonics, teas, and tinctures. My main focus with my products is mental health. So
Mm,
people that suffer from anxiety, depression, and stress. Also women's health. So women that, have any sort of reproductive issues, fibroids, cysts, excessive bleeding, leukorrhea, things of that nature.
mm,
And then immune support. And also insomnia.
okay.
So I have a little bit of everything for everyone. And I'm actually releasing a new product today called, which is my men's line.
Okay.
And this product is called Bull Rider Shots. And this is basically a sexual enhancement formula. And it's really, really important at this time, because I find that a lot of men are silently suffering, and us
Mm.
us women are kind of taking the blow for it, because I find that women we love our kings, but at the same time, it's already recorded statistically that, or at least in Canada, that half the men over 40 suffer from some form of erectile dysfunction.
Oh, wow.
And this can be through poor diet, stress, you know what I mean, smoking, alcohol. And we know
Mhm.
that smoking and alcohol is like a big thing,
Yeah.
right? You come home from work, you you know, you have a beer, you know, you're on there,
But
you know,
with
you're
the
on
cigarette.
with the cigarette, you know what I mean? So, you know, all of these things affect male reproductive health.
Hmm.
So I felt like it was important for me not to leave, you know, my kings out. So I have a whole lineup of products for them coming, and the bull rider shots is the first one.
Oh my God, that's about to be a seller because
Yeah.
a lot of people are, which I'm glad that you're doing it because it's I think we do forget about them, and forget that
Yeah.
they, though there is even more awareness coming up, and us talking about mental health. And I know as women, we feel more free to talk about the issues that we have. But men,
Mhm.
that I believe many of them are not there yet. So,
They're very quiet. They're very
hmm
quiet. But I
hmm
feel like if they see something that they know that they need, they'll get it. You
yeah,
know what I mean? But women are just so vocal, as you said. We're so vocal, we're
yeah,
vulnerable, we talk, we
yep.
express. So
We
we kind of,
actually we call somebody, we'll pick up the phone. Hey girl, do you okay, but guys, it's like, no, I want to talk to somebody about it, but I don't want nobody
they
to
don't know what to
know.
say. Yeah, they're suffering in silence.
Yeah.
They're not, you know, they're not saying much. So I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to focus on my kings and get some
Good.
products into them. So I got that, and then I have a prostate formula
Okay.
coming up for them as well. So yeah, I'm excited.
Oh,
I'm excited
oh my
about that.
God. And
Yeah.
that's wonderful because especially in the African American community here, is that's something that is really hitting hard.
Yeah.
Sam. So wow. Oh
Yeah.
wow. You are you are so in alignment.
Thank
Whether
you.
legal, but you are a healer. You are a doctor. You are doing the work because I believe that we have jobs, right? And jobs are things that we do, to either feed our families or keep the lights on. But then there's a work that we're called to do. And
Yes.
whether it be street sweeper or a medical doctor, all are not doing that work. I
Hmm.
feel that you are in alignment with the work that you should be doing because even with that, you are being a service to people, that's helping them to be better for themselves. And when they're better, then they're able to be better for those who they love. Yeah, you're
Exactly.
continuing the service. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
So again, share your website and anything
Yes.
else that you would like to share.
Yeah, definitely. So my website is sacredsynergy.com. That's
Mhm.
SAK RED and then SYNERGI. So it's spelled a
Mhm.
little different. .com. I'm mostly active on Instagram. So you can find me at sacred underscore synergy, but I also am on Facebook as well. You can email me at sacredsynergy@outlook.com. And if you have any questions about my products or services, you can go to my services page on my website, scroll all the way down to discovery call, and you could book a free 15-minute call with me.
And I'm going to put her website and all the information at the bottom. So
Yes.
everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing all this wisdom with everybody. And everybody, make sure that you go to her website, go to her Instagram, go to her Facebook to get more information and book that free session so we could get healed. It's time for us to get healed. Thank you so much. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much
you.
for having me. I
No
appreciate
problem.
you.
All right. Bye bye.
Okay. Peace and love.
Peace and love. Bye bye.
Bye.